Chelsea Football Club have given Enzo Maresca the greenest light that they have ever given a manager under Blue Co. He has come out in a press conference and absolutely put down the gauntlet. When I tell you these quotes about Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell are mind-boggling, this is Tuchel and Mourinho level explicitly. He literally spoke what's on his mind, he didn't care who he offended, and he basically said it how it is. It is wonderful. Joao Felix is officially announced. We've got how much he came for and how happy he is at Chelsea. Conor Gallagher has left, and there is more news. There is going to be so many outgoings. It is evident for everybody to see, because we have got information on Disasi potentially leaving the club. We've got information on Carney Chukwuemeka. We've got 2 deals that are basically done and about to be signed, and here we go by Fabrizio Romano with Armando Broja for £30 million and Bashir Humphreys for 15 million nearly. Can you imagine £45 million for players that basically had no future at Chelsea Football Club? This is phenomenal from Chelsea, and we need to break this down. People are going to say you're being too positive. Oh my God, you work for Blue Co. I don't work for Blue Co. I just speak my mind. When Blue Co need to get stick, I'm the first one to do it. When Blue Co deserves some praise, I'm the first one to do it. I am objective. This channel is always going to be objective. I'm not going to be doom and gloom for the sake of being doom and gloom. So what I want from all of you now is hit that like button. 1,000 likes goes a long way. Subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, Joao Felix is back and I'm over the moon. You all know, right? I'm the leader of that fan club. I've been asking for him to be on a permanent, and I asked for Pedro Neto on a permanent. Let's get these deals done. Boom. So before we get into the press conference, I think it's important for me to give it some clarity with what's happened with the Joao Felix deal. Joao Felix is officially a Chelsea player. He's been announced, and the deal finally concluded, and we've got the numbers associating with it. What essentially happened, it was a swap, right? There's a couple of million in it. It was a swap. Gallagher went to Atletico Madrid and we got Joao Felix. In my opinion, we won. I genuinely believe this because I think Joao Felix is the better player. I think Joao Felix suits our system, and I think Joao Felix will become a phenomenal individual for this system at Chelsea Football Club, especially under Enzo Maresca. Quote me on this. Come back in a year's time and tell me whether I'm wrong or right. Or come back on a weekly basis, tell me whether I'm wrong or right. I don't care, because I actually am this confident regarding this footballer. So what have Chelsea paid? Chelsea have paid £44.5 million to get this deal across the line. There is no add-ons, no sell-ons. This is amazing from Chelsea, because it means that in the future, when we sell him on, we will make back all the money that we will want, hopefully. And Joao Felix has agreed to take a huge wage cut. His base salary is lower. There's a lot of incentives in this program, and it's basically a contract that Blue Co want to give players. You play better, you get incentivized with a new deal. Phenomenal. On the other hand, we've sold Conor Gallagher for 42 million euros, which is around about 38 million pounds. There is also some add-ons and a sell-on fee, meaning when Gallagher moves on in the future, Chelsea will get a percentage of whatever that fee is. This is great, because no matter where Gallagher goes, he's most probably going to go for around about 40 to 30 million. Whatever that sell-on fee is, we're going to get some extra revenue, which will push us towards the Joao number or maybe even over. So this is great. Gallagher got a very nice emotional video from Chelsea where they basically paid him the respect he deserves for coming through Cobham. And you know what? Evidently, this works for all parties. 6-year-old Gallagher joined the club. Now 24-year-old Gallagher leaves the club 18 years later. And more importantly, he's got the opportunity to go to a top-tier club in Spain and compete for trophies. Chelsea get Joao Felix. Chelsea get the profit that comes from Conor Gallagher. It's wonderful business for all parties. A lot of people got very upset with me yesterday when I spoke about Raheem Sterling, and I said how I think it was unprofessional what he done. I think the statement was out of order. People said, I hate Raheem Sterling. That could be further from the truth. I am just objective when I judge players. I think Raheem Sterling is class. I've said on many occasions I would keep Raheem Sterling if it means we can get Noni and Mudryk out of the club, and then all of a sudden we went and got Pedro Neto and Joao Felix. So now all of a sudden, we are absolutely littered with talent. We've got Joao Felix, we've got Pedro Neto, Nkunku and Palmer. If we keep Noni, there is no space for Mudryk and Sterling. I don't hate them, I just have an opinion on which player I like best. And Enzo Maresca has come out with some comments. And in his press conference, they were brutal. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Let's explain some of the comments that stood out for me. He said, honest, no minutes here. I was honest with him, there were no minutes here for him. And he basically says, he's told him publicly, in a meeting on Friday before the game that, look, bro, there is no play minutes for you here. Like, we have got too many options and you don't fit. And then he said if he wants to chat again, I'll happily have a chat with him again. And he basically just reiterated there is no hope for this player at this moment in time. He went on to talk about, he was asked the question, do you think you're being brutal? He goes, brutal? I think I'm just being honest. I've told him publicly on Friday, that's where we got the information from. And he said, I also told Ben Chilwell, Raheem, we have too many options. Ben Chilwell, you don't fit the system. Both players are not part of my plans. And for me, this is amazing because what this has done now is it's basically told Raheem and Ben Chilwell and other players like Romelu Lukaku, Kepa, you're not part of these plans. You're going to be leaving, you're going to be moving on, and you need to find alternative plans or you're going to be missing years of your career. And there's nothing wrong with a club doing this. They're getting paid, they knew what they were joining in the first place, and the reality is, why are the people getting upset? You've got 5 wingers, only 2 can start, and only 2 can be on the bench. You can't have 5 wingers in your matchday squad. It doesn't make sense. Furthermore, what I found really interesting was, he said, I'm working with 21 players. Yesterday I worked with 20, today I'm working with 21. There are 15 to 20 that are training somewhere else. I don't see them. And for me, this basically reiterates the story. The media have blown it out of proportion. That what we're hearing consistently from the media is Chelsea have got a squad of 40 people. I keep seeing the meme, oh, Chelsea are in Pure Gym. For those of you that don't know, Pure Gym is a gym, which is a commercial gym in the UK where basically if you go between 5 and 8, you're waiting for machines. Like, it's cheap, it's effective, they've got everything, but it's just overpopulated. Like, there's so many people, you're not getting that pump because you do 1 set, 2 set, 3 set. Now you're changing machines, you're looking around and you're like, yo, where do I do this? I can't, there's too many people. So, and people are making this joke about the Chelsea training sessions. And the reality is, Maresca said, it's made up. The club is only making me train with 20 to 21 players. Like, and I'm guessing he's not including the goalkeepers in this. And he's like, 15 to 20 of them are training elsewhere. And we'll talk about the 15 to 20 of them. It's the Romelu Lukakus. It's the Raheem Sterlings, the Ben Chilwells, the Kepa Arrizabalagas, the Trevor Chalobahs. 5 players that have no future at the club. They've been openly and explicitly told there's no future for you. Yet people want to reiterate, oh no, they're being exiled. It's not fair. No, they're just, at this moment in time, they're not in the plans. If, okay, you put those players back in, who are you taking out of the squad? Players that are in the plans of the squad? No, it doesn't work like that. And he openly said, look, I don't care if a player has 20 years on a contract. And this line was beautiful because this line came from the top. This isn't his line. This line came from the top. He said, I don't care if you have 20 years. If I don't like you, you're not playing. If you don't fit my system, you're not playing. That's what he literally means by that quote. When he says, if I don't like you, you're not playing, right? It's basically, if I don't rate you, I don't care who you are, you won't play. And this is how you talk in a press conference when you've got the backing of your ownership group. That's exactly what has happened. I love it, I can't lie. So the news has recently come out that Raheem Sterling has accepted the fate and he's decided to look for alternatives. Where he goes, I don't know. There have not been any links, but he's on huge salary. Another player that's been offered to Manchester United is Ben Chilwell. I don't see this happening, and I don't know what's going to happen with Ben because Ben Chilwell is on a contract that basically he's not going to get that money anywhere else. Chelsea are going to have to buy him out. They're going to sell him out, and the only way that he leaves. I don't see Manchester United going and acquiring Ben Chilwell, especially when, and this is the key thing here, right? Ben Chilwell is very similar to Luke Shaw in terms of injury profile, and they're similar age. Are you really going to go and get a player that has been as brittle as Luke Shaw to replace Luke Shaw? And then what? You have 2 players on huge salaries that are going to be in a club that basically could be injured at the same time, and you need to go buy a backup left back as a 3rd choice. It just doesn't make sense. TalkSport are reporting it. I don't know what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of negativity coming out about Chelsea and how they're handling it because a lot of players' agents are going to be on the phone moaning. I am convinced by this. They're going to be absolutely dragging the Chelsea name through the mud. And for me, I can't care less, man. We've got 10 days before this window closes. Once this window closes, we are cooking with oil. We move on with the season. There's a huge game tomorrow in the Conference League that is imperative for our season. We have to be respectful and we will do it. So regarding Carney Chukwuemeka is available for a loan. Or maybe, and the loan will only happen with an obligation that's close to his release clause apparently. And Chelsea are keen to get this done. However, he's on huge wages. And Carney is actually, in my opinion, a victim of his own injury. Because Carney Chukwuemeka has been at Chelsea for 2 years. Carney's had glimpses of where we look at him, we go, this guy is sick. I see why we signed him. I rate the player very highly. However, he has got a huge problem on his hand, because what the problem is he plays in the advanced 8 role for Chelsea, right? He's going to play in that advanced 8 role. Who does he have as competition? Cole Palmer, Nkunku, Joao Felix, and next year he's going to have Kendry Pies that comes in, and maybe Estavi Willian if he plays in the 10 or if he plays on the right wing. That's 5 players ahead of him. Don't forget Kieran Drewsbury-Hall, who reports coming out, players are calling him teacher's pet. He knows the manager trusts him. However, Carney will not be leaving unless it's a loan with an obligation or if he's sold. But I don't see that happening. Another player that there's been an inquiry for is Axel Disasi. Newcastle have made an inquiry to see how much the player would be available for, and this is massive. Personally, I would sell Disasi if the fee is of a good value. So when I say a good value, I mean if the fee is 30 million, 32 million, 35 million, he can go. And the reason I say this is because you need to think about this in the big picture. Don't think about him as an individual. Think about this in the big picture, people, okay? We've got Fofana, who's meant to be our lead centre-back, alongside Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill is the assistant captain. Maresca confirmed this in his press conference. He spoke about it. You know it's running. Who is behind those two? Well, Tosin Adarabioyo has joined the club and as a free agent on huge wages of 110k, meaning my man is definitely going to be getting minutes, right? You don't sign a player, otherwise it's a waste of a signing. The other one is Badiashile. So then it's a toss of a coin. Is it Badiashile you're going to trust with the left foot, or you're going to trust Axel Disasi with his right foot? And for me, I have more faith in Badiashile than I do in Axel Disasi. Other people have more faith in Axel Disasi than Badiashile. However, and this is what I'm going to say, and this is sounds harsh, are we really going to argue over a fourth choice centre-back? Because the reality is, maybe both won't be at the club next year. Maybe both will be moved on. And if we can get a good value for Axel Disasi and he can go to Newcastle, so be it. Let him go. Disasi was always a signing I personally never understood. But Disasi played a lot of minutes last year. We had a lot of injuries and he stepped up, and good for Disasi. But I just don't think he suits the system, nor do I think he's good enough to play in this system. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know yours. I know a lot of people that watch my channel really like Disasi. Yo, the final piece of news that I want to talk about today is the business that Chelsea have done. So we know we're selling players, and we know that players are definitely leaving. So we've got 2 here we goes. One has been announced and the other one is close to being announced, and the medical's done. Fabrizio said the papers are filed. We need to talk about Armando Broja. So Armando Broja has now officially left Chelsea Football Club on a loan with an obligation of £30 million. As long as Ipswich Town stay in the Premier League, we get 30 million Great British pounds for Armando Broja. Let that sink in, right? We are getting Armando Broja off the books for 30 million. We've already secured more money by sending him on a loan to Fulham. And that loan it went badly, but we got paid for it. Yo, we're balancing the books. And Broja has no future at Chelsea Football Club. We've seen it. He's just not been the same player since that injury. He's lost that sharpness. He's lost confidence. He needs to go somewhere and recreate himself. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm saying he's a player low on confidence, and that a player that needs support now and faith of a manager that believes in him and will give him minutes. He will most probably get that at Ipswich Town, and we will see how he performs. Brilliant from Chelsea. These numbers aren't going for this year's account. They're going for next year's. Meaning next year when we spend more money and people start moaning, oh my god, why are Chelsea spending? It's because we already have 30 million guaranteed on the books. The way we had with Lewis Hall of 30 million and Ian Matson, now we're going to have even more for next year's. Another player that's left Chelsea is Bashir Humphries. Bashir Humphries, I checked, has played 45 professional games in his career. I think 17 for Carabao in Bundesliga 2. And then he had another loan last year where he played quite a bit and is impressed. Burnley have looked into the player. They've taken him on a loan with a guaranteed obligation to buy next year for 12 million plus 2.7 in add-ons. Meaning we are getting him nearly off the books for potentially 15 million pounds. This is a player that's played one game for Chelsea. I think it was against Manchester City. He looked out of his depth because he was a young kid in a Potter system that was shaken up. However, now he's going away. He's going to spread his wings. He's going to develop, and he's at a club that is there on a permanent basis. Do you understand how good of a business this is from Chelsea? And this is where I don't understand why the owners don't value Cobham as much as they value export talent. Because look at what we've produced. Bashir Humphreys and Armando Broja brought in £45 million. The system to get players through the ranks is there. I don't think we need to go and purchase Kieran Dewsbury Halls. I don't think we need to go and purchase Toussaint Adebayo's and give them these crazy wages. I genuinely believe what we should be doing is purchase the best world's talent at young level, at top level, and then feed through Cobham talent. And when this Cobham talent is squad players level, all right, cool. You're no longer good enough. You're going. You're Conor Gallagher. You're going. We're getting 40 million for you. We bring through the next Conor Gallagher. Go and get the best homegrown talents around, feed them through Cobham, give them minutes at Chelsea. If they ain't good enough, move them on. It's what we've done with Bashir Humphreys. It's what we've done with Lewis Hall. It's what we've done with Ian Matson. It's what we've done with Mason Mount. Like, look at how much money we're generating. For me, this is impressive. I can't lie to you. Like, this is genuinely, from a financial standpoint, brilliant. Because next year, we've got 45 million to spend if there's no transfer ban. So, it is what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. I can't lie to you. This has been a very productive video. I hope you lot have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this enough, go and watch my video on my reaction on how I feel about Raheem Sterling's statement. It's linked over here, as well as in there I talk about the Joao Felix deal as a whole. Boom, let's get into it. Peace out, I'm out. Have a lovely day. See you in 5 seconds because you guys are going over there.